Hey guys.
Hey, this is not Wild Speculations. I'm still Daniel.
And I'm still Scott.
We're going to do another dive into our subclasses.
Yes.
We did this a few weeks ago, and
the last time they took a break, actually.
yes, and I had some key bindings on the keyboard that messed with our recording. So hopefully I have changed those key bindings, so we should not have that problem. So do you have... Okay. My phone may go off. No, it won't. It's in the car. We're fine.
All right, then. Your phone is probably going off.
Yes. So, do we want to start from the beginning? Or from the first one that we did?
Yeah. Well, let's just go over them.
Okay. So our Tomb Robber.
Tomb Robber. So, well, actually, should we start with the Warden? Because the Warden was a direct result of the Tomb Robber being born.
Other way around.
No, because you had designed the Warden, and then to fill in those last two schools,
We did the Tomb Robber, yeah.
we did the Tomb Robber. So the Warden, or the Warden directly resulted in the Tomb Robber being born.
Yes. We can, sure. Let me change. There we go. And we'll be back. Just a second. There we go. So this is my write-up for the Warden. And a large part of this, I think I copied and pasted as much of this as I could, which is why you'll still find Wizard somewhere in here. But it's essentially based on the Eldritch Knight. I played a Warden in 4th edition and wanted to capture that feeling in 5th. The Warden in 4th edition was a defender, so I went with Fighter as the main class.
Right.
So basically, all this is almost right out of the Eldritch Knight. The difference is the Warden uses the Druid list, and specifically Transmutation and Conjuration schools. And Wisdom is their spellcasting ability, just like a Druid. They have a mark, which you guys can't see, so we'll move our heads. There we go. So yeah, you know, yeah. Mike Morrow's made this look easy, but then he only had to worry about one thing. So yeah, the spellcasting spells known, cantrips, spell levels is right out of the Eldritch Knight. Nature's Ward. You place a mark on a creature when you attack them. If they attack one of your allies, you gain a bonus damage equal to your Wisdom modifier of an elemental type that you can choose every long rest. 7th level, Nature's Wrath. You turn an area of 15 feet around you into difficult terrain for 1 minute. Nature's Countenance. This is... I need to rewrite this because this is too much like the Druid. And So basically, it's just going to be a shape change, but you get a number of hit dice in the form equal to your level, plus your con mod in hit points. You can choose an element. You'll get the resistances from that element, or you can choose a plant form. And in the plant form, you will have regeneration. I'm thinking 5 regeneration every turn, so long as you're in contact with the ground. And none of your game statistics will change. So like I said, this is taken from the Druid, where your game statistics become the creature. Because in the first draft, it was a wood woad or an elemental that you could change into. And they can only do it twice a day, as opposed to the Druid, which is every short rest they get them back. So this is long rest only. But one of the things that I want to change, we were talking about this just before coming live, is because I'm currently playing one in our Ravnica game, and I wanted to keep with the Druid taboo on metal armor, so I kept with that, and it was really hard, and it was a huge step back until I could kill some creatures to make armor out of them. Now, it was rewarding to get that, but one of the things I want to change is they can use their wisdom instead of dexterity to add to their armor class, with the theory being that the spirits around them, the nature spirits, are helping them to protect themselves. But the idea that, this other thing uses a different school led into the
Tomb Robber.
Yeah.
Because that basically left Divination and Necromancy that didn't have a half-caster subclass. Because you had Abjuration and Evocation with the Eldritch Knight, you had Illusion and Enchantment with the Arcane Trickster. And so we were chatting, the two of us and a couple other guys, Tim, who you guys know from the show, and also the his brother Alex. And I was like, well, why don't we do a rogue one and give them the other two?
Yeah.
And we were like, well, what could you do with Divination and Necromancy? And I was like, well, Tomb Robber.
Yeah.
Finding treasure. So that's where the Tomb Robber came in.
Go ahead.
And so last time we took him, we put him as the rogue, gave him still the wizard spell list, 3 spells, 2 have to be divination or necromancy. And then we started working on some stuff, and it went through a few conversations you and I had towards it.
Yes, I just realized that our channel description still says wild speculations from last week. So I'm gonna change that right now.
But we took on some different aspects, took on some different characteristics, and we decided to make more about the dungeon delver Tomb Raider style. So in addition to the spell casting at 3rd level, they gain piercing secrets, and where they could just playing off of that cunning action that the rogues get, looking for traps and secret doors is a bonus action instead of full action. And then they can also adding guidance for that divination aspect, kind of when they do search for those, their investigation or perception checks get an additional D4. So
yeah.
Got some questions back towards the Warden.
Yes. Can you read the name? I can't read it.
Yeah. Snoopy Ace 9522 asks if the wisdom modifier is like the monk or barbarian armor. And no, because it's not dex plus wisdom or dex plus con if they're not wearing armor. It's when you have your armor, it becomes instead of 14 plus your dex modifier max of 2, it's 14 plus your wisdom modifier.
Right. And I didn't explain that well when I was talking about the change.
So it's not an unarmored defense like the barbarian or monk did. It's recalculation of armor class with the armor, so it also does not remove that class feature of the fighter's armor proficiency.
Right. And I wanted to make that change also makes sense because it decreases the madness of the subclass, whereas before you were looking at, strength and or dex, con, and then wisdom. So being able to dump dex, which a lot of fighter builds do, because you have heavy armor. So you can still dump dex with the warden and use your wisdom, your casting stat for your armor class calculation. So it makes it a little easier, because that was the hard thing for me, was going from 16 AC in the chainmail to now at 3rd level pick up the subclass, can't wear metal, so now I'm in hide armor and my dex is +0.
Yeah. So you go to a 12 AC for that.
Yeah. And that was rough. Luckily, Game Master set up narratively that I was able to get my insect chitinous armor relatively quickly.
He also asks, so still no metal and still limited to 2 +2 in medium and 0 in heavy. Yes, that's exactly correct.
Yeah, you're just changing the stat from dex to wisdom. For that. So yeah. But the tomb robber.
Mm-hmm.
I was fiddling with stuff. We got to
the piercing secrets, and then
also
in addition to that, cunning action addition, is the use of your reaction. You can add a D4 to your AC for a saving throw to avoid damage from a trap. So you're kind of like the trap expert. You know your way around a trap.
Yeah.
So then at 9th level, they gain Trap Master, so that when they set that trap, and we pictured, you're in this dungeon, you need to take a rest, you barricade the door, you trap it, you can add your sneak attack to traps you set. So when the trap goes off, it not only does the trap damage, but your sneak attack damage as well.
Yeah, which is great, because at that point, that's 3d6, 4d6?
4d6 at 9th level.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're doing
simple crossbow trap.
Crossbow D8 or D10 plus
4d6.
Yeah.
That'll.
So it's significant at that point.
Yeah.
Diviner Strike. Okay, so this gets to one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to come back and go through these again.
Right.
Other than the snafu in broadcasting, is almost after we ended that stream, I had some things gnawing at the back of my brain.
Me too.
And this is one of them.
Okay.
I think this should come in at 3rd level. And here's why.
Okay.
And when we were drafting this, we were going back and forth.
Right.
On whether or not it should be at the lower level. The reason I think it should be 3rd level right off the bat is the Arcane Trickster can manipulate the Mage Hand as a bonus action.
Okay.
They can't cast it as a bonus action, but they can manipulate it as a bonus action. The reason why I think this should be a bonus action for them is in the narrative sense, the tomb robber is going in by themselves into these places a lot.
Yeah.
In my brain. Other rogue subclasses, the Inquisitive being the first one on my brain, allows you to get sneak attack in different ways.
Yeah.
Allows you to make a check, or they have to make a saving throw. If it succeeds or they fail, you get to use your sneak attack against them, whether or not you fulfill the other criteria of sneak attack.
Yeah.
With True Strike, you have advantage in the attack roll. That procs sneak attack.
Yeah.
So it covers both those sort of things, a cantrip as a bonus action, and a different way to get sneak attack.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think it's bad to have at 3rd level.
Okay.
And also, it's a huge flavor thing for the class, being Divination and Necromancy.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of divination spells at lower levels. So delaying it until 13th level just seems more penalizing, I think, which is also why I think we can put it up front.
Okay. So what do we put in 13th level?
That I don't know.
And the other argument for that is, since we're looking at it as being part of the cunning action, most rogue subclasses have 2 or 3 things that they get for their bonus action.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so we'll put this.
And that can even be part of Piercing Secrets. That title fits.
Yeah.
Getting that. So, but I think it should be just they use True Strike as a bonus action because they're already getting 3 cantrips, and like the Arcane Trickster, they get Mage Hand and 2 others.
Right.
So this guy would get True Strike and 2 others.
Right.
They just all have it. So.
Right. You have the player's handbook over there.
Yes.
Let's
crack open the
look and see what kind of power level we're looking at. Because
all right, so we'll start with the Arcane Trickster. At 13th level, you gain the ability to distract targets with your Mage Hand. As a bonus action on your turn, you can designate a creature within 5 feet of the spectral hand. Doing so gives you advantage on the attack rolls, which is why I had argued putting it there.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing. Using your cantrip to give yourself...
You're essentially tapping that dude on the shoulder.
Right. The Thief at 13th level can unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior if they spend 3 hours studying them.
Right.
The Assassin...
the assassinate feature, isn't it?
No,
or
use magic device. No, that's the Thief. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Assassin is the one that can unerringly. The Thief is the one that can use magic device.
Okay. 13th level, they have access to what level spells again?
13th level, they are going to have all the way to 3rd level.
Which is Raise Dead, right?
Yes, I believe so. No, it's Revivify is 3rd level, isn't it?
Or not, Animate Dead, sorry. Animate Dead. Animate Objects is 4th level, I think.
Animate Dead is 3rd level Necromancy. with the casting time of a minute.
I don't know. What about the option to change their sneak attack to necrotic damage? Is that important? Or not?
No, I like that. The only thing I was wondering, so, well, I mean, you could do necrotic being their, pseudo necromancers, but since the idea behind them is like either controlling or getting rid of the undead in the tombs, you could also say radiant.
Yeah, that's cool. To radiant or necrotic. Which is essentially your weapon die plus guiding bolt.
Yeah.
Every turn. I don't know if we need... I think that's fine. Because the other 13th level abilities weren't huge.
Right.
They're what Mike Morales, I think, referred to as banner abilities. They're just little extra things. Sneak attack damage. 2 radiant for necrotic. Alright.
And then finally at 17th level, they get the Arcane Leech, which is when they hit someone with sneak attack, they can sacrifice any number. Let's see. Any number of the dice sacrifice to steal a spell equal, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Equal to spell slot.
Yeah.
So you give up your sneak attack dice to steal spell slots. Rather than the Arcane Trickster that will steal a spell, and then they can't cast that spell anymore, the Tomb Robber actually takes their power.
Yeah.
And this ability was geared more toward the idea of fighting liches.
Yeah.
And other undead spellcasters. So when you're going up against them, you just sap them of their power.
So I'm going to give up 4 of my sneak attack dice. I think at that level, only do like 2 at that level, and I'm going to take a 4th level spell slot, my highest level spell slot, so that I can, I'll give up all 6 and upcast one of my 4th level spells.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Which also, this works really well with the new 13th ability now, with being able to change your damage to radiant. Because if you're fighting that spellcasting vampire, right? Bam! Sacrifice almost all of your sneak attack to steal their spell slots, and then change your damage type to radiant. So now not only have you taken spell slots away, they're not regenerating this turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And that's why I think in this new build here is better, because the 13th now is an upgrade to getting your sneak attack now more often.
He's saying it's an upgrade to the level 3 the only thing I would say is, do we make it to where they can change it if they used the True Strike?
To tie it to that?
To tie it to that?
Yeah.
Because then they're like tweaking the magic that they're using.
I can see that.
So when you use True Strike,
yeah,
or when you get Sneak Attack, True Strike and hit. You may choose to change your sneak. Yeah, I like that. So. All right, and so, yeah, that was our Tomb Robber.
And then we did a suite of builds. Inspired by Matt Covell's Illrigger class that he did.
Yeah.
That we weren't really fans of. And the first one was our Sworn of Souls. Because one of the basic ideas that we were talking about was, why not just make a paladin subclass instead of a whole new thing? Because the Illrigger basically operates much like a paladin.
Right. And in fact, he even said that was what would a paladin of this Modius look like?
Yeah. So that's where the Sworn of Souls came from. We have our tenets. The law is the law.
So contracts must be upheld.
Yeah. Death is only the beginning. The flesh is temporary. The soul is eternal. So is their debt. Debt and service bind us. Treat people in your debt like family. Exploit them. Know your place. You should respect the hierarchy and your place within it.
And actually, just given our Sunday game and myself playing someone who's affiliated with the Orzhov Church, we're playing in Ravnica. This would be a perfect paladin subclass for a member of that church.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, Alex, if you're watching this ever, since he's our DM.
But because we designed this as a hell-inspired paladin, the oath spells, Hex, Hellish Rebuke, Old Person, Mind Spike, Bestow Curse, Summon Lesser Devil, Dimension Door, Summon Greater Devil, Hold Monster, and Scrying.
Right.
And these are all there to support the idea that they are the collection agent of hell. So they're there to kick ass and find you wherever you go. Being a unholy, fiendish paladin, their channel divinity, Turn the Holy, targets Celestial and Fey, rather than, say, the Oath of the Ancients, which targets the Fey and Fiends.
Right.
Collector, one creature is marked by you. You have advantage on your attack rolls against the creature. This is essentially a similar mechanical function of Vow of Enmity.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of their channel divinities. So.
Well, channel divinity is usually an action.
Right.
I just realized we didn't actually specify that it's an action, but channel divinities usually are.
Yeah.
When a creature provokes an attack of opportunity from you, you may use your reaction to instead teleport up to 30 feet. This has a lot of fun potential built in.
Yeah,
I think.
just that, that halfling or slower creature run in front, you get 25 feet, and you teleport right in front, and they're just like, ah!
Yeah.
Just that horror movie, you run the other way, and wait, they're there.
Yeah. Now, we also didn't specify that you had to teleport next to that creature.
No.
You can just teleport anywhere you want.
Yes.
So this also gives you the opportunity to, say, teleport and then make a stealth check on your turn.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things. Now, you can possibly make the argument that doing damage is better than a teleport. But if you're fighting a creature and, say, you have disadvantage on your attacks or what have you, or you can't get advantage, they have a super high AC, you're rolling like shit, or whatever the reason is, this gives you an opportunity to just...
Yep. Yep. And for those of you who enjoy playing murder hobos, it can also give you a great Mike Myers feel.
Yeah.
Just that calmly walking.
Yep.
And you're still right behind them no matter how fast they're going.
Yep. You don't have to dash to catch up, because you can teleport when they try to get away. Yep. Forged in the Fires of Hell, you gain resistance to fire damage. If you already have resistance, you become immune. This is specifically, essentially, for Red Dragonborn and Tieflings. But Tiefling is really the flavor here.
Yeah.
Is to say, yeah.
And Fire Ganassi.
Yeah. Now, this is the level 20 transforming into a devil. I don't know if I like this one, and the reason why I say that is because we basically copied another paladin subclass.
Was one that I was kind of like, couldn't really think of something, so we're just like, let's throw this in for now.
Yeah.
And I, personally, I think it should be something to do with the marking of souls, collecting of souls, kind of thing.
Is there a soul jar spell?
I don't think so.
Let me just check. Playing so many systems, it's like, well, that's a spell in that system.
Right. And it is an older edition. Excuse me.
It is not.
There is Soul Cage, 6th level necromancy in Xanathars. Snatches the soul of the humanoid as it dies and traps it inside a tiny cage. You use for the material component. Stolen soul remains inside the cage until the spell ends, which is 8 hours. Or you destroy the cage.
How about giving him that once a day?
Yeah.
And removing the component cost?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can use a trapped soul up to 6 times. Once you exploit a soul for the 6th time, the spell ends, and you can. So the things you can do is steal life, regain 2d8 hit points, query soul. Basically, ask it a question, it has to answer. answer truthfully. Give yourself advantage on the next attack, ability, or saving throw. Or use it to spy on any place the person had been while it was alive.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always miss that name. Okay.
I think that can stay.
Yeah.
Just in general. If they're marked for, if you've got them marked for collection, yeah. At that, especially at that level, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's much better.
Yeah, I don't you might have to play with because no, paladins go up to paladins get to 5th level spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just a little bit of juice on top.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
Not bad at all. And it's much more individualized.
Yeah. Got the person being. Well, the thing is, you don't want your marked target, Snoopy Ace, to turn into a devil, because then you might have to fight them as a devil.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this is a better change right here.
And it goes with that whole concept that we had of, using the souls as currency. Because with that soul cage spell, you've got these, I've got this IOU and I can cash it in for these things, which is kind of the whole soul market deal.
Yeah. The College of Documancy. Now this was, well, the title definitely is inspired by Omen Drawn, Jerry Holkins of Penny Arcade and the Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yes.
And this is our Bard subclass.
Our Bard, yes. Which I think I was, at the time, I think in the middle of the 3rd season of Lucifer, and so I was like, I had been talking to you about how, how we could tweak the College of Glamour Bard, because that's basically what he was.
Yeah. Now, some of these things might need a little more work.
Yes.
If we get more into detail about the souls.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So right now, there are some holes in these, and most of those holes pertain to the idea of souls, how the player collects them, what they do for them, all that kind of thing, outside of whatever narrative the game master wants to put on that. It's still fairly nebulous. And the idea, I came up with a sort of a rough idea on how to think about this, which is the character's level is essentially the number of contracts that they have under their belt. is a way to think about it without getting into nitty gritty economics, essentially.
Right.
Because basically, whether you get into the nitty gritty of the economics or not, you would be essentially, as you are collecting souls or selling, buying, selling, doing contracts and stuff, your power is going to increase anyway.
Yes.
So it's just from a mechanic point of view, you can just look at it as their level is how many contracts they've got. So yeah, rough idea. But the Infernal Contract is the 3rd level ability of the College of Documancy. And this is fun, I think. This is the meat of the class for me.
Yes.
Is this first bit where you can have a number of active contracts equal to your charisma modifier. So it's just like your inspiration dice. And the subject of the contract can gain an inspiration die once per long rest, so long as they are on the same plane as you.
Yep.
The great thing about this also is that this College of Documancy Bard is sort of encouraged to buy the souls of his friends.
Yes.
And his friends are encouraged to sell their souls.
Especially with as much splitting the party as our groups do.
Well, that too. Also at 3rd levels, they get Discern Desires. Once every short or long rest, they can speak to a creature for 1 minute, and they gain the benefits of Detect Thoughts, targeting only that creature.
Yep.
I don't think this is anything that breaks the game at all.
No. And it's kind of one of those. And I think I came up with that one, and that was straight from Lucifer with the "What do you desire?" and they instantly tell him,
Yeah. And again, that's part of the fun of the class. That's super heavy RP in that element. Level 6, Usury. This is
this is fun stuff now.
Yeah.
So as part of an action, you may trade in a contract to gain one of the following benefits. And the ones we have are healing, heal a number of hit points, or you heal hit points equal to a number of d8s equal to half your bard level plus your charisma modifier. Or spell slots, you recover up to half your bard level in spell slots up to 5th level spell slots. So again, if you're a 10th level bard, that's 1 5th level spell slot, 5 level 1s, a level 2 and a level 3,
Yeah.
Not, I get 5 spell slots. Well, they'll all be 5th level. No.
Yeah.
5 levels worth of spell slots.
Yeah. And I don't know if I like the way how it's worded.
I think we worded it that way so that they could get the spell slot and use it at the same time. Oh, I don't have a 4th level spell slot. Well, I'm going to use my usury as part of casting that spell and pull that out.
I think I just make it a bonus action.
We can definitely. So just as a bonus action. But I think, if I remember right, that's why we worded it that way.
Yeah. But a bonus action, I think, performs the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I like it resting on the bonus action because that also means that the bard can't do Healing Word.
Yeah.
So they can heal themselves instead of healing somebody else. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that choice mechanic in there.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, this trade in a contract, this relies on that language that's part of that nebulous concept of what the soul is.
Yeah.
But I think
The other
I'm gonna make a note here.
Yeah, and the other thing to note is that if you're trading in a contract, that means if that contract you had, if they hadn't gained that inspiration die yet, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, because essentially you are giving the contract to hell.
Yeah,
you're selling it to someone further up the chain. Is the idea. So you no longer have access to that. They no longer
someone
have
else
the benefit.
has access to that contract.
Right.
Which gets into a lot of fun if that contract was one of your fellow party members.
Yeah.
Who now owes a favor to, Orcus or
Yep.
a hag coven.
Calling in the Debt's another fun one. You target a creature you have a contract with. They make a wisdom saving throw, or they are charmed by you and must follow your verbal or telepathic command. They may be targeted so long as you are both on the same plane, and the target takes damage. Or
receives suicidal command, or something that would bring harm to themselves. They can repeat the save. And when they save, like most charm effects, they're immune for the next 24 hours.
We don't have a duration in here, but it's essentially
I would put
charmed by you
as the charm person spell. Give it the same duration as the spell. No?
No, I'm thinking 24 hours.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because we did base it off the succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the Soul Treater.
Which is our warlock pact.
Yes.
Basically, instead of a specific patron, like this particular person, like Ukatoa or Hades, your pact is with the soul trade.
Yeah.
The whole.
You gain your powers because of your understanding of the buying and selling of souls in hell.
Yes.
So.
Essentially.
So yes, soul broker, and you have soul marks. As a bonus action, you mark a target within 30 feet of you. That target makes a wisdom saving throw and must subtract 1d6 from ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls for as long as you concentrate. And you may concentrate on a number of hours equal to your warlock level. Once you use this ability, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest. This is arguably way better than Bane.
Yeah. I mean, it's Bane on steroids, but it's
single target.
It's single target, and it's kind of like, oh, see, you need me. I can lift this if you want to sign a contract.
Yeah.
Was the deal behind it. It was kind of that forced negotiation, whereas the documancy bard was more of a persuasion. This is more of a coercion.
Yeah. And the idea also being that it's very important for Hell contract that they are entered into willingly.
Yes.
And yes, Snoopy Ace, you can make a contract with allies and enemies, and the enemies do gain the advantage of your inspiration die.
Yes.
So be careful.
Because you have to give something to get something.
Yep.
So you're saying, like, here, you can have this, and now I'm going to heal. And that's where the timing comes in. You want to give them that ability and then rob it from them right away.
Yes.
And send that poor soul to someone else.
Contracts in battle aren't a thing. Well, at least not yet. Again, that goes to the economic question that we haven't really talked about.
If you find yourself in a trench on the battlefield and while the fighting's going on above you, you and this person.
Yeah. I mean, in a technical sense, all it takes would be an action to seal the contract.
Yeah.
So if both parties are willing to give up their action for a turn,
I mean, you could
in
be
battle, then sure.
Hey, I'll help you out if you help me out.
Yeah.
Oh, they accept. We have a contract.
Yeah.
You give them the inspiration die, and then you take something from them.
Yep. Down the line, you get to use it. Expanded spell list. Dissonant Whispers, Sanctuary, Enhanced Ability, Zone of Truth, Bestow Curse, Spirit Guardians, Divination, Locate Creature, Modify Memory, Raise Dead, and Hellish Recruitment.
Yes.
Once per long rest, when a creature marked by you is reduced to 0 hit points, you may use your reaction to raise them as an imp. Snoopy, here's your raising a dead target as a devil.
Yes.
This is as close as we get.
And I'd like to point out that 6th level Hellish Recruitment is an ability. It's not part of the expanded spell list.
Oh, yes. Thank you. That's right there.
Because they only get to 5th level spells outside of the special class ability where they get one to choose that they can use once a day.
Yes. The imp obeys your verbal commands. It gains temporary hit points equal to half your warlock level, and a bonus to attack rolls equal to your charisma modifier. It acts on its own initiative and remains in your service until the end of your next long rest.
No, Snoopy, it is not useless. It doesn't come up much in battle, but it's more of an RP. So it would be something before the fight breaks out that you would do.
Well, in the warlock mark, you're not going to do that on your allies.
The warlock mark isn't. I mean, I think he's still talking about the bard contracts.
No.
The documancy contracts. So the soul marks, that's really easy to do in battle. It's just like you.
Yeah. I like the Hellish Recruitment, the imp, because
yes.
Like especially if you take Pact of the Chain.
Yes.
And you take an imp as a familiar. So now you have an RP moment where your imp familiar is bossing around the imp that you just created out of the dead guy.
Right. And it's a great, and you could even narratively be great. And as this was one of the guys I turned before.
Yeah. That's who.
This is my familiar. He's,
Yeah. Hurl Through Hell. This is one that I'm not a huge fan of on retrospect.
In which, again, same as with the Paladin one, we took it straight from
the Fiendish Warlock.
Yes.
Now, on some level, I have less of a problem with this one, because arguably this fits this subclass.
It's like you're sending them to a college campus for a tour before they enroll.
Yes. I don't know. Like, I would like to replace it.
Yeah.
I struggle with what to replace it with. I don't know.
The only thing I could think is if you give them a way to buy something from, because they're soul brokers. So instead of always just selling the soul, they can buy a soul.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how we would write that out.
How about once per long rest, you can summon a white.
Ooh. Yeah. I can see that.
I think that's the CR we want.
Just calling in that favor.
Well, the reason why I say on margin is because you've purchased this soul on a loan.
Mm-hmm.
So you have it on loan, which is why it's not there all the time. But once a day, you can sort of.
Yeah, I like it. IGHT.
Do you want to until you take a short or long rest? Because the Hexblade's Spectre that they raise at 6th level is until they take a short rest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's until the end of the next rest.
And I
think it should be until you complete a short, a short or long rest. Because that way you can be like, summon it, have it do some stuff, and be like, okay, watch us, be our watch for the rest. Oh, okay, you're done.
Okay. Let me just grab my monster manual and make sure that I'm right. Because even Matt Colville says he gets these things confused. Yeah. He made a video about that. Nope, not a white. Wraith?
Wraith?
Wraith might be what I was thinking of. Because I think a Spectre is only CR1.
Yeah. So a Wraith instead of a white. I mean, 14th level summoning a CR5.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because at 6th level, it's a CR2. Or 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
and that might be stronger than we want.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good spot. I think that's kind of where we want it. Because otherwise it's a devil you might be calling on.
I like the idea of it being the soul you're taking out on loan.
Yeah. Yes, so do I.
So.
And the soul, like, wraiths are created when a mortal leads a debased life or enters into a fiendish pact.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's right there. So. Yeah. And that's our hour.
That's our hour. So.
I have some ideas to do a Venom symbiote subclass as well, which we may do next time. I think this is going to be our when Tox is on a break.
We'll do subclasses or other game design things.
Yeah. Because I also kind of want to brainstorm potential documancy spells.
Yeah.
To tie it back into Critical Role. So, because I have some ideas.
Okay.
Nice. Like I think I put it at a first level spell slot where you can concentrate, and for the duration, you can choose to re-roll a roll. And once you do, you've expended the spell. It's sort of like it's a spell slot version of Portent,
right?
For the Divination Wizard, which is essentially, I kind of wanted to call that one Butterfly Effect.
Okay.
Where you sort of see, just a few seconds into the future, so you can say, "Oh, that's not going to work." So you essentially are re-rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a sample of what I've been thinking.
Nice.
So we will see you guys
next Tuesday.
Yep.
When we talk about this Thursday's episode of Critical Role.
Yep.
I guess.